After a 7-week summer break, the wait is finally over as the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine heads to the Red Bull Ring for the 7th of 10 rounds this season. The Austrian event marks the first time Andrea Kimi Antonelli of Prema Racing enters as the championship leader. The Italian driver had claimed the top spot after the last round at Paul Ricard, passing his Norwegian rival Martinius Stenshorn of RHGP by just 6 points. As always, the series, co-managed by Alpine and ACI Sport, would have more than 30 drivers on the grid ready to provide great entertainment and achieve the best possible results to fuel their aspirations in the championship. Among these would also be some new faces, with Jesse Carrasquedo's promotion to the championship having previously raced with Van Amersfoort Racing in F4. The arrival of the Spanish driver Bruno Del Pino at MP Motorsport, and the debut of William Carlson with KIC Motorsport. There is also the confirmed return of Hadrian David, no longer being a wildcard entry in the championship, but a full-fledged member of Italian team Monolith Racing. At the prestigious home of the Austrian Grand Prix, the weekend promises to be extremely thrilling and as competitive as the previous events of this extremely challenging series.
Yeah, I suppose this year we took Santiago, Adam and Maceo, and it's been going well so far. We probably hoped for a bit more at certain points. We had a bit of bad luck at the start of the season when we qualified well at Spa, and with also in Imola we had a problem. So we've been unlucky in that regard. But all in all, it's been pretty good. So hopefully next year we can do the same and have two drivers fighting for the championship. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's this year we want to get into the top 3 in the team standing, so we're still fighting for that. Next year, we're here to win. Next year we want to be fighting for the championship, and I think we can. We understand now what's required. We understand the level that we need to be at. We understand more about the car. It was quite difficult because this car has been around from 2018 and we only come in last year in 2021. Everyone has 3 years of an advantage in terms of learning, development with the car. So we're compressing that down into 1 year to try and, even now, in the races, we're still experimenting little things on one car and the other, try and see, maybe this is the right direction to go. But now we're starting to narrow the range and we can really start to understand, okay, on this track this works, on this track this works. So we've been, in general, consistent across all the tracks, and we found some things that we were missing in the race as well. So I think for next year we can make another step forward if we can, secure some good drivers that can fight for the championship.
After the first 2 days dedicated to collective tests, which provided an opportunity for the rookies to become acquainted with the track and car, the weekend wasted no time in getting into full swing with the first qualifying sessions on Saturday morning. Pole position was secured in Group A by Brazilian driver Rafael Camara. The Prema Racing driver clocked the fastest lap at a 1 minute 26.128, gaining the top spot on the grid for race 1 and his second pole position in the series. The talented Brazilian was incredibly fast from the start of the weekend and is determined to reclaim big points after the Paul Ricard round, where he only managed to score 4 in 2 races. RHGP's Tim Tramnitz followed closely behind in second place, giving him a spot on the second row of the grid. Andrea Kimi Antonelli secured third position, followed by Michael Belov of G4 Racing, who in turn took fourth spot, whilst French driver Sami Megatunif from MP Motorsport rounded the top 5 of Group A with a solid performance. Group B took to the track next with Camara's reference time to beat, but none of the drivers on the track managed to better it. The session for the second group started at a much slower pace, with no drivers willing to provide slipstream for their fellow competitors. Alessandro Giusti was one of the early leaders in the group, but would later lose his position, which would begin several changes at the top. The Frenchman then regained the advantage on the final lap of the session to put himself and G4 Racing on the front row with a best lap of a 1 minute 26.359. In second place was Spanish driver Lorenzo Flucha from Prema Racing. Kaz Havercourt from Van Amersfoort Racing claimed the third position, having fought for the top spot until the final seconds. RPM's Santiago Ramos took fourth place, followed by Polish driver Roman Belinsky from Trident. There were issues in the qualifying session for Ukrainian driver Ivan Klemenko from KIC Motorsport, who hit the curb and sustained damage to the rear suspension, being forced to an early stop. During the break before race 1, the Finnish team worked tirelessly to repair the car, which included repairs to the gearbox in order to get it back on track for race 1.
Yeah, I think it was quite a good job also from the team. I think the team did a really good job. Yeah, for sure the lap was good, but the car was amazing. I think we were fast since from the start of the weekend, so I think we will just keep improving, and we deliver now. I think on quali, I think everything was perfect, and yeah, good to start on pole position, but still a race to go where we can do the points, where it's important for the championship. So let's keep focused to try to do a good job on the race.
Feel good. Second meeting we are quite fast with Lee Castellet. So yeah, happy. But now we have work to do because the Prema and Camara is very fast. But we will challenge them for the race for sure.
On Saturday evening, the moment that everyone was waiting for had finally arrived. 32 Renault Sport Oreca engines started roaring all together for race 1 at the Red Bull Ring. There's the green flag at the back of the field. To the left of screen is Alessandro Giusti. To the right of screen is Rafa Camara. We are go for round 7, race 1 here at the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Down towards the first corner. Great start from Camara. Great start from Kimi Antonelli. Side by side with Giusti and Tramnitz. Tramnitz being forced to go wide there. I think Giusti would have just held on to second place. No, Tramnitz going round the outside, taking second. Giusti trying to fight back. We've got the two Prema Racing teammates in the red and white. Side by side, it's Lorenzo Flucha to the outside, Antonelli to the inside as they come through turn 3 for the first time. Multiple cars going wide at turn 3. Hopefully they all get through safely, albeit with a little bit of a delay. But out front, it's Rafa Camara leading the way. Tramnitz, Giusti side by side once more. This time, Giusti, the car I think that is to the outside, is in the background. Flucha was side by side with one of the green and orange RPM cars, and I think that was the RPM car that went wide there. Was that Ramos possibly that has gone wide and been delayed? I think it was the Mexican driver losing positions there. This has allowed the likes of Sami Megatunev to gain places in that orange and black MP. Oh, one of the KIC drivers was bouncing over the gravel there. Not too sure which one that was exactly. We'll identify at the completion of lap 1 as they come down towards turn 9 for the first time. As they make their way down towards turn number 4 and to the outside on the braking. That's Giusti trying to get around the outside of Tramnitz, can't quite get through. Up towards turn number 6 we go now. Camara, Tramnitz, Giusti, Antonelli, Belov, Flucha is the order. In towards the first corner, and Tramnitz under all sorts of pressure here. Will that see Giusti using push to pass? Possibly. Up towards turn number 3 now, and that looked like Giusti with help, possibly the help of push to pass and a bit of a tow, has gone by Tramnitz and has taken second place. Great driving from the rookie driver, gets himself up into P2. All of this allowing Rafa Camara to escape out front. He's got a gap of 2 seconds now. Kimi Antonelli in P4 having to defend from a hard-charging Michael Bello for G4 Racing, who are having a great race so far. 2 cars in the top 5 places. In the background there we can see the 3 Tridents all in a queue, not very long though. That's Matteo Capietto in the green and orange RPM, gets down the inside of Nikhil Border to get himself into P11. Good driving from Capietto. Now having to defend, or is he going to go round the outside maybe to take another place? In fact, that's one of the other RPMs, isn't it? That's Santiago Ramos. Here a little bit further back, that's Giovanni Maschio being politely shown to the gravel. Won't be happy with that at all. Oh, here we go. We'll come back to that because that's Lawrence Van Hoopen battling away with Stenshorn. He's the last in this trio. Van Hoopen is in the middle. Bernier is the lead of it, 19th. But here comes Rafa Kamara, pole position for him earlier for the second time this season, and just like he did at Spa, it looks like he's going to go on and win this race. That's 2 wins for the season for Rafa Kamara as he comes across the line to take the checkered flag first here at the Red Bull Ring. Great driving from the Ferrari Driver Academy member Giusti on the podium for the second consecutive round, and Tim Tramnitz rounds out the podium places in third place. He holds off Kimi Antonelli in the end for P4. Michael Belov crosses the line in P5 but gets a 5-second penalty for track limits. Lorenzo Flusha will be promoted. We'll read it as it is for now. The timing screen will sort itself out shortly. Kaz Havikort 7th, Sami Megatunov 8th, Belinsky 9th, Capieto 10th. Rafael Kamara flied solo on the Austrian track and established his dominance in race 1, taking a lights to flag win. The Brazilian is the 5th different driver representing the 5th different team to succeed at the Red Bull Ring in FRECA history, doubling his win tally. Despite a troubled start, Alessandro Giusti managed to get back to second to take a second consecutive podium and his second rookie win. Tim Tramnitz faced the toughest battle at the end of race 1 in resisting Antonelli's assaults and managed to celebrate the day with some champagne.
I think the race was really good. We were able to open a bit the gap in the beginning, break a bit the toe, and then after I think it was more to manage the race. I think the gap stayed more or less the same, and as was no safety car, it was a bit too long the race. So yeah, it was a good race. I think we had the speed. Now we try to focus for tomorrow and keep doing a good job.
It was a good race. Bad start at the first of the race, and then team get me back the position. But after we had a very good pace, but Rafael was just too fast. Couldn't get him at the end. And yeah, good race, good speed, and now we into tomorrow.
Yeah, honestly, it was really tough. I think we really did a good job in quali, which kind of saved the race for us. But it was really difficult to hang on, and I ran out of push to pass at the end as well. So I always had to focus on T1 especially to get it right. And yeah, in the end, I'm happy to hang on to the podium and start the second half of the year with P3.
The second qualifying session of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine Round 7 took place on Sunday morning at the Red Bull Ring, with the drivers divided into 2 groups in reverse order compared to Saturday's qualifying, meaning Group B would hit the track first. Lap time started to drop in the second half of the session, with series newcomer Bruno Del Pino among the early leaders. Then Nikhil Bora took the lead, with Kaz Havikort and Alessandro Giusti behind. Mexican driver Santiago Ramos then set the fastest lap, taking the lead. Ramos's time was further improved at the checkered flag, but the game was decided only in the final lap when Giusti secured pole position with a time of a 1 minute 26.688, just 18 thousandths of a second ahead of Ramos. Third was Norwegian Martinius Stenshorn. Coming in fourth was Bora, ahead of Havikort by just 1,000th of a second, with the top 5 drivers all within 0.2 of a second. In the Group A qualifying, everyone lined up behind Antonelli, with none of the drivers willing to risk an advantage for their rivals. In this session, there was also an off-track excursion by Sami Megatunov, who immediately managed to get back on track. Maya Verg also encountered problems as she went off track after contact with the curb at Turn 1. Her car ended up against the barriers, requiring the intervention of the marshals to rejoin this session. After a quick red flag stop, the drivers returned to the track with cold tyres and limited opportunities to complete a strong lap. Andrea Kimi Antonelli temporarily secured the pole position with a time of a 1 minute 26.593. However, his lap was cancelled due to a track limits violation. Antonelli still held the top spot in Group A, finishing the qualifying session first with a time of a 1 minute 26.775. He was followed by Megatuniv in second, Owen Tangavelu in third, Tim Tramnitz in fourth, and Rafael Camara in fifth.
Yeah, I feel good. Carl feel good as yesterday. Just better drive than for me. Some quite few things made us go on pole. So yeah, feel good. Yeah, it was the first session of the morning, so the track was quite cold. And at the start of the session, I was making a bit of mistake, find my limits of the track and temperature on the car. And then at the last lap, I pull this lap to do the pole.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really crazy session, I would say. Not many laps, just a couple. But yeah, already from the warm-up was quite difficult to get the temperature, and then the red flag didn't help at all because the tire cooled down again. So yeah, going out and, having to push straight away, position was not the best. Also, tires were not into temperature, so it was really hard to get a lap. But I'm sorry for the mistake to my team, because obviously we could have got pole. But at the end we still managed to get P1 in the group. So I'm happy for that. Starting P2 for today's race, so I think we can achieve a good result.
For the last time at the Red Bull Ring, the lights go out and the show begins. Race 2 is on. Green flag goes at the back of the field. To the left of screen is Andrea Kimi Antonelli. To the right of screen is Alessandro Giusti. And we'll go for round 7, race 2. Santiago Ramos has stalled it. Let's hope everyone can avoid him. He's managed to get going. So Santiago Ramos dropping all the way to the back. One of the G4 cars didn't get going either. So a real shame there. Santiago Ramos dropping all the way down the field, as that looked like Jesse Carrasquillo. Giusti trying to take the lead as they make their way up towards turn 3, or hold on to the lead. Sami Megatuniv to the right of picture, trying to go round the outside of Giusti. Looks like he's managed to do that. In fact, gone too deep on the brakes. Kimi Antonelli made it 3 wide as they now come down towards turn 4. We've got a spinner there, one of the KIC cars making contact here. We could see an intervention early in this race. One of the Prema cars was on the grass. Giusti leads. Megatuniv, who's gone past Kimi Antonelli. Antonelli now under pressure from that's Marcus Armand, who's got suspension damage to the front left. It's Martinius Stenchorn for R-Race GP going round the outside of turn 6, and a safety car is deployed. Here we go, we're racing once again for round 7, race 2 in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine here at the Red Bull Ring. They come across the line to resume the race. It's Alessandro Giusti leading from Sami Megatuniv. Martinius Stenchorn is third. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is fourth. And then Esteban Masson up from P11 to P5. The Flying Frenchman in 5th place. Nikhil Bora in P6 as they make the run down towards turn 3. Owen Tangavelu 7th, then it's Havakor, Van Hoopen, Lorenzo Flusha, who's all over the back of Lorenz Van Hoopen. In towards turn 3, Kaz Havakor trying to go round the outside of Owen Tangavelu, couldn't quite do it. Lorenzo Flusha trying to make a move as well. One of the MP cars, that's Victor Bernier, delayed out the corner. Rafa Kamara, 0 sadly in terms of race results. Winner yesterday, in the pit lane today. What a shame for him, but he can leave happy with his efforts this weekend. He's driven superbly to take that win yesterday. Let's go back to the leader today, Alessandro Giusti. He's built a 7/10 gap over Sami Megatuniv. As we see, coming up, that's Victor Bernier in the orange MP car in P14. He's got Michael Belov behind it. In fact, that's Hadrian David, apologies, behind him. Coming down towards turn 10. There's Tim Tramnitz in the white and black R-Race GP, trying to get down the inside of Hadrian David. Up towards the first corner. Niki Lauda curve. Alessandro Giusti, 0.8 of a second clear. You can see them sliding through the corner. Oh, Kaz Havakor on the sausage curve there. The idea is to run the car all the way to the edge of that. Santiago Ramos, where is he? He's trying to make his way back through the field. He's P23, Tim Tramnitz is P16. Oh, and that's Flusha off in the background, ran wide at the last corner. Just looking out the window to see him across the line. He's got Roman Belinsky right behind him now. Wait for them. There they are. It's Flusha to the inside, Belinsky to the outside. Here's your chance, Roman, to get inside the top 10. Can he take it now? He'll want to grab this with both hands. The pressure is working for the Polish driver. Flusha looking in the mirrors, Belinsky trying to find a gap on the inside, almost going four wheels off the circuit. Breaking open the door is Roman Belinsky, but Flusha slams it shut in his face, and Roman Belinsky has to back out in the end. Great racing there, Lorenzo Flusha. Aggressive defence. Roman Belinsky would argue that was maybe too aggressive, but Lorenzo Flusha doing everything he could to hold on to that position. Oh, and that was contact between Belov and Roman Belinsky coming through turn 3 there as they rejoin. Belov ahead of Belinsky. That's a change of 11th place. It was Belinsky in 11th. Michael Belov is now 11th. Belinsky, with the use of push to pass surely there, has just driven past Michael Belov unless he gave the place back. So 2 changes of position there, but good stuff for catching that one, for picking that one up. Someone else is in the pit lane. Didn't quite catch who that was, but I think that might be Alexandra Provost who has come through pit lane. That's a real shame if it is, because he qualified very well in 20th. Down towards the final corner we come then. Alessandro Giusti on his 18th birthday makes it 6 different winners from 6 different teams in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine here at the Red Bull Ring. A 2nd win of the season for the young Frenchman. He is on absolute fire in the 2nd half of the season. Sami Megatuniv makes it back-to-back podiums. What an inspired performance by him after redesigning that crash helmet, carrying Delano Vanthof, and Martini Stenchorn on the podium once again. A superb drive from the Norwegian driver, takes his 9th podium of the season in the 34 car. Alessandro Giusti got to celebrate his birthday on the top step of the podium with his 2nd win of the season. Sami Megatuniv came in 2nd, while Stenchorn, 3rd at the checkered flag, slipped out of the points after a 25-second time penalty for failing to follow the correct procedure after stalling during the formation lap. This meant 3rd position was inherited by championship leader Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
It was a tough race. Sami was behind, quite close, quite fast. We had a drop with the tire, the front tire, 15 or 13 before the end. So it was really hard to keep him behind. So yeah, happy, but.
Yeah, it was a good day. Yesterday we knew in quali we were there, but I was just missing a bit of toe in sector 1 to be at the front. The lap times were really close between each other. So this morning we managed to have a lap with a bit of toe. I put everything together and we could start from P4, and it was more easy than yesterday, of course. Yeah, 3rd podium. It's good so far. I think we are now in a good phase. Me personally, but also with the team working with the car. I think we are getting there to the first win. So of course we go to Monza to fight for the win like we did here, and we will do everything to have it before the end of the season.
At the conclusion of the 7th round of the championship, Andrea Kimi Antonelli's lead has now extended. Now with a total of 214 points, he now holds a 33-point advantage over 2nd place Martini Stenchorn, who has 181 points. German driver Tim Tramnitz of RHGP remains in 3rd place with 161 points. The series now heads straight to Monza to contest the 8th round at the iconic Temple of Speed on the 16th and 17th of September. We will see you there.